A few nights ago, I opened my resume just to update it, and I read my own skill section back to myself as a stranger would do. Python, Java, machine learning. And I sat there and asked myself one honest question. If someone handed me a laptop right now and said, "Prove it," could I? I went quiet for a second because the real answer was not really. Not the way that resume makes it sound. 3 years of college, 3 years of assignments completed on time, lab records finished, mid exams cleared. On paper, I did everything right. And yet, sitting there at 11 pm, I couldn't shake at one thought. If I can't back up what's on this page, what exactly I am doing this for 3 years? That question scared me enough to sit down and actually figure out the things. And what I found wasn't some big secret. It was a handful of small and simple mistakes I had been doing every single day without noticing them. And almost every student still make mistakes. So, this is not an advice from someone who has already arrived. I'm still in it. But I have spent the last few weeks pulling apart where my time is actually going. And what I found have changed every single day I spend. I want to walk you through it because if you are anywhere where I was close to it, you have a time to fix this before it becomes a resume you can't defend either. Welcome back to Harsha Sync. I'm Harshavardhini. Let's go into it. Here is the excuse I use it to give myself, and honestly, it's not even wrong. My life isn't just a college. It's 2 hours commuting in the morning, 2 hours in the evening. The second I'm home, there is a lab record pending, mid-exam next week, and also assignment completion. Where exactly am I supposed to fit building a skill into that? Every word that is true, and I have lived the exact timetable. But here is the question I eventually want to ask myself. When the placement season shows up and I'm sitting across from a recruiter, will they accept that reason? They won't. Not because they are unfair. Because they're not hiring a timetable. They're hiring what can I actually do. And I was busy has never once appeared on an offer letter. So, this isn't me telling you to work harder. You are already exhausted. I know that because I am too. This is about where that energy is actually going. And once I tracked mine honestly, I realized I was pouring it into exactly at the wrong place at the wrong time. Here is what my day actually looked like before I fixed this. Get home, clear assignments, lab records, and whatever is due. By the time it's done, it's night. And then, weirdly, motivation shows up at 9 or 10 pm out of nowhere. Okay, tonight's the night. I'm finally starting with the course. Laptop opens. Somehow, it's 1 am. I feel terrified of missing my bus. And then, sleep. I ran this loop exactly for 2 years before it actually clicked. Here's the realization that stopped it. Think about your phone at 5% battery. Try running something heavy on it. It lags, it freezes, and sometimes it shuts down in the middle of the task. The 5% battery is your brain at 10 pm. We hand college, the assignments, the exams, the lab records are full battery. Our morning energy, our sharpest hours. And we say one thing that actually decides our salary for whatever is left over after everything else has drained us. So I flipped it. The second I am home, still sitting at 60 to 70%, that's when the course opens now. Not after everything else, it's before. And I had to accept the trade-off to make that work. It's genuinely fine if an assignment goes late in a day. Worst case, someone frowns at me for a second. Nobody remembers that a year later. But if skill building keeps losing every single day, in 3 years, I won't remember the assignments either. I'll only remember that I have never built anything in real while I had the energy to do. I know what some of you are thinking right now. Easy to say. Sit down for hours straight every single day right after the class. Where is that kind of willpower supposed to come from? I asked myself the same thing. And then I remembered something that I have already proven to myself. Think about a night before an exam. A subject you haven't opened in 6 months. You sit down at 9 pm and somehow absorb entire semester till sunrise. No phone, no Instagram. If someone calls, you're annoyed. Not now, I have an exam tomorrow. That 6 or 7 hours of unbroken focus, I have done it. You have probably done it too. So, I stopped telling myself I don't have willpower. Clearly, I do. I had never just aimed at anything except a deadline someone else have gave me. Here is the actual pattern once I looked closely. That level of focus only shows up under fear. It's the same reason why I have always completed the strict professor's assignment first and the lenient ones pushed to the later. Fear sorts your priorities automatically whether you want it or not. So the real skill isn't willpower. It's learning to manufacture fear on purpose before it naturally finds you. The fear is not the enemy, it's the tool. Use it deliberately for 4 days straight and then something shifts. Motivation stops being something you have to chase down. It just becomes how you operate. Last piece, that is networking. Your network matters. Here is something uncomfortable I learned. Most people getting hired right now aren't getting hired through LinkedIn or Naukri or Indeed. So the fix is simple. I checked my Instagram screen and moved at same time to LinkedIn. 15 minutes on my commute. Sending 10 connection requests to people who are already doing the job I want. Do that for 1 semester and you don't just have connections. You will have a real context on the industry and clarity on exactly who to ask when it matters. But I'll be honest, because some days that manufactured fear doesn't move me. Some of us need a real person depending on us before we act at all. If that you, here is what actually works. Get any internship. It doesn't have to be technical. Customer support, admin, anything. What it teaches you is discipline. No professor ever will. Because now a real person is counting on you, not just grading you. The moment I was accountable to someone outside the college, I stopped needing to talk myself in working, but just worked. So, here is what this video was actually about. It was never, why don't we have time? We all get the same 24 hours. The only difference is where your best hours went. And whether you created urgency on purpose instead of and whether you created urgency for purpose instead of waiting for it to show up. You don't need more time. You need to stop giving your best times to things that won't matter in 3 years. Start today, not tonight at 9:30. Today, the second you're home, while you're still at 50%. I went back to that resume after figuring this all, and I still haven't written it. I'm still building toward being able to defend every line on it. If this video helped you, hit like and subscribe. See you in the next video.